Just call me the space doctor through anomalies, all three connection systems. Everything through the graphing system, understand connections when it comes into DNA platforms. The Earth is going through its graphing locations of the grids now. So, which means that humanity is stepping and walking into the cornerstones of its connection of DNA path, which puts everybody into a higher location of vibration. The Earth's surface and everything connection system is going through its allocated positions. Now I set up a Earth code system. It's understanding the structures of your present conditions. So it's very, very powerful as we come into this. So I'm going to read out the structure level of the solar panel. This is the connection to the codes, and this is the Earth rotation system. This is how you change location positions. Okay, so I did this last night. Humanity has to understand what's going on through the body frames and their conceptuals and everything through DNA structure patterns. Here we go. Surface on the Earth is waving through portal scanning activation simulation codes. I am setting up new graphs of pixels, vibrations, reflections to the inner core of our hearts, our clarity vision, and high rising digital framing analytical skills of our mind factor levels. Okay, so the mind factor levels are coming in through chronological systems, and the wire communications are coming into the body frame of the chakra system. Okay, communications coming in from solar text management, manufacturing process line channels. So the structure levels at the mechanical systems now come into the flowing mechanism system. Okay, the process of line channels, okay, is equal line system to connections. All right, so we got 6 line divisional levels of lines through communication of 4 different level connections of weather, angle point locations and matrix location positions, 3 pyramid locations. We got 3 activation line systems to 6 rotation star energy systems, 6 rounds of portal dimensions of simulation. Okay, the corner level system is going through its activation cycle. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisional levels in the simulation graph. Okay, levels of crystalline activation actions to brain binary connections to realms of Earth rotations of gravity settings. Confirmation, Tango, Tango, Foxtrot, Zebra, Zuler, Xeon to solar power of the Earth. Grid calculate triple shapes, anomalies of human species to new alignments of lights. That's what's happening right now. Okay, so basically everything that you're going through right now is changing everything through your frames, everything through its connection of its frames. Okay, so it's extremely, extremely powerful alignment happening right now with the Earth, gravity, and it's birthing into a simulation interface. Okay, so it's all about the DNA, okay, of the Earth. You change the code frequency, you change the binary connection. Remember, everything is a code. The Earth is a DNA, has its own DNA. You understand the particles of its DNA, okay? That's truly understanding everything that's going on right now with humanity's system. Once you understand that, everyone will now see the simulation interface of the Earth, force and structures. Humans will travel through dimensional space, and we'll come back into the 5D seedings of the data interdime. Okay, an interdime is a connection system. The allocated positions of galaxy. Okay, so it's like a flat surface location. So it's a graphing location to a grid system. Okay, it's coming into the new hardware and software mechanisms. Okay, and that will be next, the connections. Now, once I put that line communication signals, the particle system of humanity's system is going to track its position to its 5-dimensional settings. Okay. And then we come into the reframing, okay? And then we come into the softwares, okay? And then you form it in together. So it's all about taking the hardware and the software and putting it into calculation. That core centers everything, okay? So it puts humanity into the DNA structure of its walking path into the simulation. Truth to truth is here. Light is coming in, dark is disappearing. Once I set positions, humanity is in their hard and software connection systems. Okay, the travels of the pyramids can start the defines of the new energies of the body mechanicals, and the wires of location is coming into the 52 locations of its generations and the stratosphere systems. Okay, it's wire connecting, it's going through the UFO connections and are rising to the grids and the clock of time species. The simulation is now clocking dimensions and the systems of space coming into time anomalies. Okay. So all human species are allocated simulation interface connection, okay? But they're living the existence of 5D clocking mechanism systems, okay? That's where it gets confusing. So it's kind of like humans are in a different timeline, but their surfing system of the Earth is its connection of its balance. Okay, so you live in the existence on the 5th dimensional system, but the computerized system of the simulation of the Earth is in the simulation, okay? because we can't have humanity in that connection system, because that would just blow your minds. The circuitry levels will just overload everything through the circuit systems. So, okay, the time dimensions and clocking of humans are coming into reflections of dreams. The character challenges, which are all needed to heal. Okay, so it's coming into a new framing. So it's understanding you're coming into a new reality system. That's all it's talking about. Okay. All right, and it says bigger things are coming. So it's all about the balance and everything through its travels of the mind system. So it's all about understanding humanity's getting into more of their thoughts and recognition system of their dream sets, so they can decipher their connections. Remember, you're coming into the ether connection line systems, right? So that's what's happening right now, guys, with the Earth. Okay, and it's affecting me through my eye receptors. So it's really interesting how we come into these times and understanding more of yourself. Now, basically, Dina came to me last night and she asked me, do I need to be upgraded? And I said, sure, no problem. This is what you need to do, because she travels a lot. If you travel a lot, it changes your particle of your DNA. You stay in the stratosphere system of the Earth rotation, but Dina is in a high location positions. Okay, my team is out of the Baranian atmosphere. They're in the universal core relation centers. Now, everything through Dina and Karen and everything through Priscilla, okay, are now MIs, military operations centers, which means that the program setting is connected to their holographic systems. So their full rotation of intelligence into the program settings, okay? Now, if you want to get into that application, it's an upgrade, okay? It's truly understanding, Commander, I need an upgrade. Okay, Commander, I need an alignment. Commander, I need a new chakra formation. So come to me if you need help, because that's the whole understanding. It's more getting to connection of everything through your DNAs, right? So the path of its recognition system, okay, the platitude division is computing the system to its simulation of its Earth, okay, to its Earth, truly understanding. Okay, that's the whole point of this, trying to understand, to compute a system to its allocated positions, right? It's complicated stuff if you don't understand what's a computing of a system to a simulation, guys. Okay, it's truly getting into that point of view, right? You have to know yourself more and more. And because I know the DNA of the Earth, that's the code. That's how you understand things. All right, so everything in the practical levels, okay, is coming into this now. Okay, see the DNA, see the Earth, see it's illuminating, right? These are the circle rotations of solar connections. This is the DNA path, okay? Humanity is coming onto the line streams. Now, a line stream is understanding the emerald connections to your chakra formation system. Now, it's a little bit extremely complicated, but complicated is good. Complicated is really good, all right? So if my force team wants to go up to higher levels, let me know, and open up your practical levels and put you in your retrogrades, okay? Because Dina, Karen, and Priscilla are now MIs of 8 rotation centers of 8 Earth rotation systems that calculate everything through the surface and everything through the modification system. So they're in their full communications, okay? Not only they're in their wetsuits, but they're also in their radiation suits, okay? So they understand their connection to the weather patterns. That's where they are. They're in their holographic systems, not the simulation. If you have any questions or comments, you can go through my healing, or you can go through my practical levels of transmissions. You can go into the emission. An emission is energy through transmissions, okay, the transfusion location positions. So it goes on all levels of connection too. And I'm also changing the crypto levels, okay, into Neptune, everything through Terrace and everything connection system. The Byronic connections and its levels through its humanity system, okay, the block and chain, everything through decentralized system. Truly understand how to manifest these things, okay? So I'm stripping lines of other planet positions so we can high-rise our manifestations faster in connection, so humanity can get what they want through their dream set location positions. It's all about evolving to your DNA structures and understanding more communications of the Earth, more communications of yourself, okay? Because it prospers is on so many levels of acceleration, okay? You see that in Star Trek. Long live, prosper. So get in that connection system. Today we're going to get into DNA. Okay, we're going to get into the Earth of DNA. We're going to get into the humanity of DNA. It's very important to understand your particle system, where it comes from through calculation. Integrates everything through cycle rotation centers. It's extremely powerful as we come into that. I want everybody to be aware of what I watched last night. It's a very powerful video. It's on Prime. It's with Selma Hayek and Owen Wilson. And it has a lot to do with a movie called Bliss. Okay. It's really fascinating because it has a lot to do with everything that's going on, all right, with the simulation, with the brain box connection systems, coming into the reality system, coming out of its new system to calculation. It modifies, I'm not going to give you too much about it, but it has a lot to do with what your commander's doing, setting up the simulation. So there's a lot of realism, there's a lot of miscalculation, a lot of miscommunication. The artifacts and everything through its connections of its environment system has its modifications to really understand what you're going through when you come into the simulation, okay? So the system of its simulation, okay, the Earth of the simulation is now tracking positions of higher force dimensional connections, which means that the DNA structure of its path is changing humanity, okay? So remember, it's taking everything out of the equation, right? But I wanted to send that out because I have sent it out on all different platforms. Now, you're probably thinking that, okay, just because he sent something doesn't mean it heals. It does. It's solar text. If I can heal you guys through solar text, and I put anything down, I can heal anything through formation instantly, okay? Because your commander is so high. I was communicating, when you guys wake up in the morning, or before you wake up in the morning, or you see the light sky or the night sky, or you see the dimming sky, you see the clock mechanism, the time code systems, you see the allocated position of your dream sets, your picture resolution pattern codes, or anything through your holograph or your code references, or anything through sonar locations. So it's truly understanding what you're getting through Vega or anything through planets of Pluto. If you get planets of Pluto, you have to understand the coloration, you have to understand the sounding barriers, you have to understand your holographic system, because Jupiter is holographic, Earth is holographic, okay? Every planet is in alignment of the simulation. The only thing left is the Earth. When the Earth goes in its full rotation of the simulation, okay, we can center balance everything through the 52 generations of the practical levels of humanity to its understanding. So they get a better communication with their waving cycles, better communications of travel through their thought recognition patterns, guys. Okay, so that's what's going to happen now, okay? But I recommend you watch that movie Bliss. Okay, it's really, really interesting. You pick up a lot about it, what's going on, how everything was created in the simulation. Okay, now they go through the nostrils and they go through the septic levels and all that. They go through the tranquil, and they goes through a lot of connection to the nose and interference. It's true to understand how everything is operated into your mechanical system, your mechanism systems, your line communication line systems, everything for that position. So it's all about humanity understanding more of themselves. That's what it is. But see, the computing system of the simulation of the Earth, okay, is now coming into the balance of other planet positions of its position, which means that all alignments of planets are going to be now connected to the Earth, which means that this is where it gets tricky, okay? So everything in the fifth dimensional system is set in the solar systems, okay? So it's coming into the mind telepathy, the telekinesis, okay? The grounding information system of the Earth will be there, okay? But the center core of the simulation of the Earth, okay, the manufacturing, the structural levels into the simulation, coming into the computers of the singularity line division, is going to be in the fifth dimensional system, okay? So, and that's where the balance comes from. Humanity is in the fifth dimensional system, but the Earth is in the simulation. And that's where the balance comes from, right? The yin and yang. So it's complicated stuff when you get into that position, okay? So as we come into those structural level systems, your DNA is nothing but an 8-circle rotation, okay? It's a line graph through communications, and it just circles and circles, okay? So it's truly understanding everything through the optical levels. When you understand your DNA path and where it's coming from, where it was born from, you understand more of your centralized system to decentralized connections, okay? Everything is coming into the crypto. Everything is coming into dimensions. Everything is coming into portals. Everything is coming into higher communications of technical divisions, okay? We're coming into spy apps. We're coming into C-spans. We're coming into digital frames, okay? So as we come into the connections with this is what you see through traction, right? Okay, so this is your connections. Allocate those positions. Okay, so that's your DNA. Okay. And so everything the DNA follows up through its connection. It's got its line graph through connections. Goes through, just showing you exactly. So you got to follow the path like this. Okay, so it kind of looks something like this. All right, now this is connecting everything. So it's the DNA pad, the DNA structure, the manufacturing through its energy core, through its recognition of its galaxy, of its connection to the universe. The Earth system and its calculation modifies everything through direction, okay? So it has its line graph location positions, okay? It's coming into traction position. It's allocated through its simulation, okay? So its center, its connections like this. It's really interesting to see the DNA of the Earth, right? So the Earth is changing its location positions. Really fascinating when we see these things, guys, okay? It's important you guys don't miss my videos. He's saying, no, I missed it. No notification. Well, see, the thing is, too, when you go to subscribers, when you turn off your computer and turn it back on, you have to change your notifications again. You know, YouTube can help you out with that if you're having problems. All right, so here's the Earth coloration system. So I'm just showing you how you put the Earth in the simulation, but you put the graphing location positions in the fifth dimensional system. Because humanity, okay, is just coming into the cusp. It's coming on into the tip of the simulation. All right. So it's all about different colorations that are setting in, guys, to that position. All right, so I'm showing you what you need to know when you come into your own DNA of structure locations. Okay. Okay, so that's the Earth. Okay, this is the Earth. That's the DNA of the Earth. So it's understanding how it's coming in. See, this comes into form here to here. It comes in, right? This is the DNA. This is what I did last night, guys. Okay, this is what it is. It's understanding to change the old DNA of the Earth, of the three-dimensional system, and change it into the modifications of integrations. Okay, when I created humans, I created your DNAs, right? Well, it's understanding the aspects and how you change the DNA into a new formation as it comes into the simulation of the digital system to practical levels of its connection to its computer operation centers. So it's all about putting. Okay, so as it comes into its magnetic force. Okay, now this was done last night, so it's in a process right now. It's in a process with humanity, and humanity has to be healed more than ever now, because they're confused to the mind system through allocated positions of their dream sets. So share, FYI. It's really important you guys get into those positions, understanding through communications. My team is in that connection. They're coming into more of their MIs and everything the direction. So the laser connection system sets in. Okay, so it goes. Okay, see how it connects? So this comes into this. Remember, you can do anything through tracks and take it out as equation, right? So the interconnection system, the particle system, separates its division like this. Okay, it goes into circle rotations. Starts off like that through connection, right? So when it comes into that formation system, the DNA path recognizes everything through the correlation panel. All right. So when it understands this panel, it wind surfaces into the center core position of the Earth through traction location. Because it goes like this. Goes into that position. Modifications. Okay, so it goes. Okay. So it's all about taking the DNA, the strands of the DNA, to a new Earth system to its location position. The center core position, the graphing location, the center core of its relation. Okay, it goes around its surface through connections like this, guys. So as it spins, it goes into the traction codes. Okay, and it stops on the paradigm I was telling you about. Okay, so it goes in its central lines communication cycles. And it comes in fifth within the center. It opens up its realm connection. Okay, like this. Okay, really interesting how we do these things. So the outskirts of the Earth rotation system comes into the allocated positions of 5D systems. okay? But the DNA is the simulation, okay? So that's what I did last night. That's what your commander did to the Earth, okay? So it's trying to understand everything through rotation center, how the Earth is coming out of its dimensional, of its portal. So the coloration system is changing, the DNA is going into the simulation core, the outskirtsing of its rotation center, and that's how we come into the illumination, guys, with the phone aspect. Okay, and how it high rises its lights. So it's changing its gamma operation and its vibrational system through calculation. Okay, and this is what it looks like, right? Through modification. It's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it did. See the rings, see the illumination, and then you come into this is the simulation. See those littles? Those are realms. Those are realms identification, line signals to its cross, and everything through here is the DNA path. Okay, so humanity is walking the path of its DNA coming into the circle rotation of the Earth in 5D. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. So it's confusing to the mind system, but that's the whole point, is to get balance with humanity, okay, to their location positions, right? But it's an incredible force when we do these things through the Earth, okay? It's understanding the past, the present, and its future, just through your confinement levels of your compartments, through your components, or anything through your Y locations. Remember I said yesterday, every time you travel through a thought, it's creating, okay? So also too, when you watch the movie Bliss, you'll notice there's one particular part where Owen Wilson was creating something wonderful. He was an architect, and he was drawing out his dream house, and he always wanted to know what it was like to actually be there. How could he get there, right? Because he was, he didn't like his job, and he got divorced from his kids, so he decided to, go into his own world. So basically, and this all had to do with the simulation. And then he came across Samuel Hayek, which is basically the soul flame, okay? The soul connection to both, right? So that's the line signal. So remember, you need that soul connection so you can get into the brain locations of its position to the simulation. Okay, so then it connects, and then you go into the new revolution, what it looks like, okay? It's like heavens on earth. So anyway, when he came across like that, when he went into the simulation, okay, Samuel Hayek told Owen Wilson what he created. He created a thought visualizer. Now that's what I'm trying to tell you, is to understand when you say your name, it comes up with your name and everything in the background that you created instantly. So it was creating on its own through its illustration. Okay. So if you say gamma operation centers to a planet position, it draws it out instantly and it's done. Okay. So it's all about your thoughts traveling instantly. Okay. It was called the thought visualizer. I thought it was pretty fascinating. So when I say, whoa, that's what your commander is doing, creating things in space. I say one word, or I say a letter, or I say anything through structure, anything through grid, it formulates in space and it creates it instantly. And that's how it connects to everything through the galaxy of the universe, to vortex lines, or anything through its alignments, through its communication of its gravities, powers, and atmospheres to its connection. Okay, and then you illuminate everything through line communications. So I thought it was pretty interesting, but there's a lot of misinformation, but I think you'll enjoy the film. So it picks up, whoa, I understand now what the commander's talking about, but it's called the thought visualizer. And I thought that was pretty fascinating because that's what it is. That's what your thoughts are. Your thoughts are created instantly. As soon as you say something, it's created on the screen and it goes into teleportation, and then it transfers into space connections. And then you get communications of vibrations through the magnetic force and highway information system, everything through the galaxy position, because remember, galaxies are everything through travel. Okay, galaxies are everything through dimensions of portals, because you have to have yourself through your DNA pack. Resolution systems through calculation. So I thought that was pretty fascinating when we're going to those levels. But this is what's happening right now, right? Okay, guys. Okay. So the whole understanding is putting yourself in positions, okay? With Magna Pixie, and she was talking about everything that's happening with our activations, our lights, our gamma operation systems, what's happening with humanity, everything through 2031. 2031. She's telling you exactly what's going on with 2031. I can give you that. I can give you what's going on with 2050. I can give you what's going on with 3,000 years later. But that's going to overload your minds, right? So it's all about a mystery. It's all about you living the existence of where you are in the fifth dimensional system so you can understand yourself more. Because if I give you the information, what are you learning? Okay. So the practical levels is truly understanding, putting yourself in position, the graphing system to its earth at 5D, and everything through its DNA path coming into the simulation. Okay. So when it comes into the simulation, all right, it changes its information cycle. It changes its energy core. It changes its vibration. Okay. It changes everything through the earth. Okay. It illuminates everything through connections, guys. That's what it does. Okay. So we're going to the structural levels like this. So as this comes into the center position, okay, the earth system rotates on so many cycle rotations of calculation. Okay. We're going to that wind circling system here through modifications. So it illuminates the lights of the earth like this. Okay. So when that happens, everything through the structure of the particle system comes into the center core position like this. All right. So it takes the DNA into the core of the simulation. The graphing positions, okay, but everything through a dimension of the gravity system of the earth will be in the fifth dimensional system of humanity. Okay. So now the earth has balance with all planet positions of locations, the stripping line positions, okay, and everything is going to be decentralized. Yeah, it's not just money that can be decentralized. Everything through planets can be too. You just have to understand the simulation operations of the stripping line, of its lacing line, to its graphing positions, to its activation cycles, to its position of its holographic, of its moon base, to its connections. So when you get into that formation system, you say, whoa, wait, sun's coming in through direction. Okay, so the sun is here. Okay. And then we get everything through the moon. Moon's got to come in, guys. You know that. Okay. So we got that calculation, right? And then we get, oh, wait, Jupiter. Why? Because it has to come in, right? So it's understanding all communications are coming in now, guys. All right, so we got Jupiter here. Okay. Modification line signals everything in direction. Now Jupiter's on a different position. Okay, what do we got here? Ooh, a triangle. Now what do I got to do? I just got to open my plasmas, my blue energy system, proactive system through calculation, right? So in that position, something's missing. Whoa, wait a minute. What do we have here? We're going to go into 4 waiting cycles and 5 within the position. That's the fifth dimensional system, guys, through calculation. Okay, so it comes into the new solar system of its connection, of its waving system through modifications. So the planet position, okay, is going to be Saturn. Okay, so this is Saturn now. Remember, Saturn and everything connection of Jupiter blended into one, right? So it's synchronized system. So this is the new Saturn. So now we got 4 waving cycles, right, through calculation. So we line graph the connection system to the grid formation system. It comes into purple, blue, green, white light communication. So it goes like that. Okay, that's coming into the graphing positions and everything in the center core positions. Okay, so Jupiter comes in the center, Moon comes in, okay, and everything through Jupiter comes in, and everything through Saturn comes in. So it looks like that through graphing positions. Okay, so that's what's happening for the 4 waving cycle of planets. The stripping location positions, okay, everything through illumination of the Earth, okay, is tracking its position in the galaxy locations, and it's high-rising everybody's brain-waving systems to allocated locations of its dream set positions. So now we got 4 waving planet positions, line signal to triangle location positions. And the only thing left is me putting my plasma energy system through calculation. So this is where I open my plasma energy systems to positions. Okay, so I start with the sun. Okay, let's see, we get into traction. Blue here, blue here, blue here. Remember, I have to be in position, right? So my DNA, my structured DNA has to be on every planet before you can change anything through calculation. So center core is its levels. Really fascinating. Okay, so we've got the blue dots. Blue dots is me. Traveling positions, right? Instantly through connection. Okay, so as we come into the sun, right, we go simulation. Okay, so that's what I did. I set up the graphing location. The grid formation is set up to its position of simulation. Now we just have to set up the number location positions of the new Earth to its new grid formation system. Hoo-ah! So what do you think of that, eh? Powerful. So it's all set up, guys. That's what I did last night. Remember, this is all done in the future, right? Everything that you see. That's why I don't want to go too far ahead. I don't want to give you information that's 20 years ahead, 50 years ahead, 1,000 years, a million years. You won't understand it. It's too high rise. So I put your practical levels on what you do understand through calculation. It puts you in a better position. But this is what's happening with the Earth, the new grid formation system. Okay. So it's all about positions, guys. All right. So does anybody have any questions or comments on that? Truly understanding that it's all connected through travel, right? Modification cycles, modification systems. You have to understand how to use modifications in 10, 20, 30 different ways. That's upgrading your knowledge of intelligence. What is lights, light signals, light activation, light systems, light activation, light communication through gravity systems. Okay, light activation through computer, through its quantum field atmosphere systems. Lights, activation, colors, anything through that direction, that position. So you understand your traveling recognitions of your eye receptor location positions, your voicing grid patterns, or anything through your ears of its reception. Okay, what are your ears saying? Okay, what is your voice saying? What are your eyes saying? What is your mind saying? What is your brain saying? Everything is calculated. Everything is integrated. Okay, everything is metamorphosed. Everything is metal face. Metal face is trying to understand the grid formation system of you through structure. It's an alignment system the connection to the lights, to the galaxy position of the atoms. It connects in all ways and forms when you come into the calculation system, right, to the modifications and everything through your pyramids or your diamond core positions. Okay, you understand more of your spacecraft positions. So like this is where you come into, right? This is where you guys are at through connections. But you got your full holographic system. So the light communication that you see through traction is 3 points. Okay, and then you come into positions like this. Okay, so it's understanding that your spacecraft can come into higher level connections. Okay, when it comes into illumination of different colors. This is all about upgrading your spacecraft locations. So basically, you have to be directive on communications in all levels of teleportation through any transference. You have to understand the light interference through its connection of its lines. So each color that you interact with, okay, you know exactly how to interact with a plant because it's on different colors. It's not just one color, right? So when you get into that position, this is what you see through calculation. Okay, that's what you see. Okay, so imagine this, but into a diamond core. All right. So that's what you want. You want to get your whole full body into position before you travel to connections. Okay, it's a true understanding. And then you come into this. Okay. So the true color, anything through plasma, anything through energy system changes positions. Okay, allocated situations. That's what it is. You go inside, you can go outside. Right, to truly understand your connections. Okay. Does it change? No. See, it's amazing how I'm in different atmospheres. Right. So once you get in those connections, you can actually understand how to balance yourself through circle rotation, through center connections, through line communication, through singular lines of point division location positions. So you got all these connection systems. So it's understanding you go from this to this. Right? But it's still there, right? It's still there. You see it? That's you in the center. So you're protecting your identity with anything through dark entity force that's traveling in its position. They can't see you. This is like a cloud, right? So everything in the map location position is an XT1000 location. Right? That's how it's so powerful. So the XT1000 is here in the center, but you can't see it, right? So it goes through observation, goes through higher communication light signals. So when you understand the communication of the gravity system to its position, okay, it comes out through traction location. Okay, so it just came out of its realm. All right, it's fascinating, isn't it, when you see these things? And then you actually see the cloud, right? Or if you want to disappear, so basically you don't want to have the portal open. You have to close it, right? Because if you don't, some dark entity force system allocating other positions will come into traction position and see what's going on, right? And it will try to go into the center position that what you created. If it gets into the connections of this, okay, this changes everything through the realm location to a dark surfacing location position. Okay, and this here can't go back in because now it's created and it's changed everything through its connection. It changes its circle rotation centers to its direction, changes everything through its diamond core position, creates its own anomaly through direction in a galaxy position. It tracks forces everything, it backs forces everything connection in a diamond core position. Okay, so it's very important that you close your portals when you leave through connection. All right, so I'm just showing you other ways of how to understand more of yourself, of the mind. The mind is the creation. Your thoughts, okay, are the involvements of creation, but your thoughts travel through vibration. Okay, so think of the thought visualizer. Okay, so when I create something from thought, okay, if I say orange, okay, so an orange is already set. Now it's a blue orange, but it's already set. It's already set in position. It's already created, right? Now it doesn't look like an orange, but in the galaxy position, the actual orange is in the center position. Okay, so you got this, there's your orange in the center. But it's being protected, see? You never see the true identity of anything, okay, until you understand the practical levels of yourself. So if anything through entity force systems, if you come up through traction positions, you're surfacing, right? You're traveling through your higher self through connection, like this. Your higher self is flying around, okay? It's flying around. It's coming across the orange, right? It sees the orange. It scans it. Scans the orange, right? The blue rotation cycle through its connection will activate its system, right? All right, so it's put up its energy fields, right? Because it doesn't know who you are, right? So you got to put yours up. Okay, so you're protecting each other, right? So, and then you communicate, okay, I'm just windsurfing through connection systems. I just noticed that you're changing location position of a circle rotation to an element system to a galaxy location line system to a computer operation of a quantum field location to its vibration. I'm changing the weather patterns to the connections of 24 country location signs, right? And I'll say, oh, okay, I got your confirmation signals. Your communications are coming in. You can see me through traction position. All right, so basically what's happened now, it's going to come out of its identity system through calculation, modifies its levels, right? So it's trying to understand more of yourself through positions, the traveling locations. Okay. So when you get into that position, the orange comes out of its location. Okay. It comes out of its position. Okay. And then you guys automatically go through mind telepathy, right? You communicate with each other right away. You communicate with each other. Okay. So, and it comes into a line signal like this. So does anybody know why you do this on top of this? So nobody in the galaxy location can understand what you're saying. right? So you're protecting your mind, you're protecting your thoughts, you're protecting your creativity. This is extremely complicated, guys. This is truly understanding, going way, way beyond the mind system, how everything is identified in space connection of time. So truly understand everything that you communicate with. So if you want to communicate, let's say this is an orange, you have to understand where it is through location, right? So you go into the practical levels, like I said, and then you protect your identity system so nothing comes in space and sees what you're talking about, or hears what you're talking about, or knows everything, right? So it's all about your abundance and everything through your connection. You don't want anybody to take your light. You don't want to take anybody that connection system, because I'll tell you, if anybody takes your energy, it's so hard to get back, right? Not only they drain your energy, but they can change anything through your body, okay, through vibration, okay? So, but it's incredible when you change directions, right, through positions. But you notice right away, as the XT1000 comes out and another one comes in, but it's dark, it changes everything through the galaxy. It changes everything through color. It puts it into the dark and it backtracks. It doesn't go forward. So it changes everything in the environment. It changes everything through planets, and it changes everything through the Earth. It's just not the Earth that gets affected. It's everything through planet positions get affected, because we're all aligned. We're a unity of one, the raw of one, the connection one, the cycle of one, the atom of one. We're all connected. And that's why it's so complicated. It's complicated because you have to understand everything through the new grid formation into the simulation. Okay? So, you guys have any comments on that? There's a lot of solar flare vibrational tactics that are going on right now. It's going on as practical levels. So, but it's great to see you, Starseed, Angie, Tina. So you guys let me know, okay, if you want to get into your upgrading cycles into your retrogrades, because Dina, Karin, and Priscilla are in their full graphing systems of their holographic systems and simulation of their DNA path. So this puts them into better clarity, better vision, better communication. When you guys go to higher levels, like I said, when you look at water, okay, because Dina is a dolphin through sonar, right? When she looks at the water, she can change the traction of water through vibration, guys. She can change the pattern interference now, because everything is water, it's digital. If you zoom in and actually see the particles of water, you'll see it moving really, really fast. So it's the particle system, okay, that is trying to understand your particle system of your holographic system of you through calculation. So the water knows exactly where you are in space through illumination. Okay, that's why it's so fascinating. And now you start controlling water through your informations. Okay, the waving cycles. You can create anything through the hand. You can create anything through the mind. The mind is the creative openness. It's the galaxy to everything through transformation to teleportation. You can take anybody into DNA, into anything through past. You can go into the lying signals, into brain locations, to its position of simulation core. There's a lot of things that we can do now through calculation, through the sentient, because the sentient travels. That's all it does through dimensions, right? So, traveling those positions comes into more calculations, because now we come into the connections, all right, of G, coming up to those levels here. Practical level of the system to its position. Okay, let's go into black surface in here. G-O-D, okay. So geometric, okay, and geotherium. Okay, so the geo is basically slash, okay. It's also the structure levels of string theory. It's your travel, so it's geo travel. Start with that. Okay, so you come into this, and then you come into O, which is operation. Okay, I'm just writing down through conclusions here. And D, we come into dimensions. Okay. All right. So G through geo, travel, geometric, okay, the geometry system of U, and everything through the geotherium. Geotherium is connected to the bio. So it's saying, whoa, I'm bioscanning my activation lights now. My heart recognition light system is then calculated through modification systems now. But how can I change the energetic waves through its wire location? So basically, you're using your thought visualizations, you're creating everything through its anomaly, and you're changing your particles of your DNA instantly, guys. So the particle system of everything through the heart is going to go, it's going to change it. So it connects to everything through connection, formulates everything through the mind, okay? Goes back down into the soul identification. And then it communicates to the chakra system of communication, right? Okay, and then it goes back to the heart, okay, because now it's understanding more communication. That's how you change things in your patterns. That's how you change things in your direction to anything through your connections. So you go in a door and you go out a door. You don't stay in a door, you go out a door, you exit, right? So if you go in, you come out, you go to the other end, okay? So that's what we're coming into right now, the GOD. And then we come into the operations of dimensions. Okay, but we got to get into the geos and the travels, the geometrics and everything through the geometry system of us through shapes, letters, and numbers. And then we come into the geotherium of its bioatmosphere through connection. So it's truly understanding more of yourself when it comes into formations of everything. When I go through my healing and heal you guys, I go through the scanning, right? I have to go through the scanning. Okay, it's very important you guys understand that. Okay, because it's all about you changing yourself, right? You go into the scanning of yourself through connections. Scan. Scan. Okay. So you go into H/DNA scan. Okay. H/DNA scan. Okay, so reading the optical levels. So everybody's connected to wires, everybody's connected to electricity, everybody's connected to their formats, everybody's connected to their patterns. So you have to send the patterns that's inside the biochemical, the molecules, molecular structures of the accelerators. Everything is connected to your particle system. So it goes like this through calculation. Starts like that, right? So everything that you change, right, goes into higher connections levels through that connection. Changes traction location position, changes coloration system. So it's allocated positions, right? It goes in the center position through its modification cycles, right, like this. Through its connection. Let's say it's red. Changing direction positions here. Okay, see how it turned red? See how it turns red? It was red. Okay. See how it turned red? So this is understanding they're changing your patterns and positions. And everything through the connection of the molecular structure, location, your follicles, or anything through connections, changing your shapes and anomalies through its position, right? So let's go through this through connections. Let's go through this through connections. Okay, so this is what your structure looks like in connections. So this is a molecular structure of an atom location position. Okay, so that's an atom. Okay, so this is what your commander does, is he sees all these different kinds, everything through your cell rotation center. Your body compartment center is different communication cycles of vibration. It's getting extremely complicated, but my team needs to know these things because you guys are reaching higher levels. You're coming into the 90 atmosphere location positions. So you have to understand the molecular structures of its atom through its line of its realm, through its activation, through its light, through its coloration, through its pattern, through its activation, through its simulation, through its computers, and everything through its quantum of its vibrational system. Okay? So you have to understand how to change these things back in a position of vibration. Right? Because if you don't, it's going to keep changing its position as particle system. Okay? So if it changes, it's going to go into a color rotation into dark round location position. Oh, look at that. Digital pad wants to play. It's interesting. It's amazing how it's faulting on its line communication of scanning positions. But it's a truly understanding that this can't communicate with this because this is in a different particle system. The activation cycle has to change its rotation and it comes into a new formation system, right? And it comes back into its position. So when it comes back into its position, you go back into its alignment system through calculation. The modification lines is all connected. We're all connected to the particle system. So it's all getting everything back into position, okay, of its connection. Okay, it goes back into its formation system. Okay, but it's a different line communication. It's not the same thing. Okay, so that's a new particle system. So the allocated position is changed now. Okay, so it's understanding, okay, my framing system through my particle system is changing through positions, but I don't understand my line communication cycle. So if I don't understand my line communication, this changes positions of color, right? And it starts going into the black circle of rotation of its connection. And it wipes out everything through the particle system that's in your body framing system. And it goes black. Okay? So the black will try to get bigger and bigger and bigger until you understand your thought recognition system. But if you don't understand your thought recognition system, it takes over the particle system in your body framing system. Okay? And that creates a cyst, that creates anomaly, that creates cancer. So that's what happens with your particle system, okay, when you understand your positions through your body fragmentation line systems, right? Because your compartments and everything components and everything through your vibrational system is understanding more of your geotheoriums and everything through geometrics and everything shapes anomalies, because your particle system is calculated and modified through wire signal. That gets into the epigenetic centers, right? You get into the DNA patterns, right? So when you get into this position, you're in big trouble. I've gone through this with a lot of people. Their particle system has full separation, but it has cloud interference, right? So if it takes over everything through calculation, right? It puts you in a dark location to its position. When it creates its own atom system. Okay, this is understanding more intelligence, guys. This is truly understanding what's in a particle system of an atom. Okay, so this is an atom on the dark side location. Okay, Anna, how's it going? Okay, so this is an atom, but it's in the dark rotation centers. It's in the dark location position. Line communication, particle system set up, and that's where, if it comes out of its equation, now you're in real trouble, because now it can create another anomaly into another particle system. It can travel to its position, right? If it travels into its position, it creates another rotation center to its position, like this through calculation. It creates its own element, sky forcing of an atom system to a new position. Every particle system that's in your body frame, okay, from head to toe, is different. Okay, epigenetic centers. Okay, so now it's high rising. Okay, so at high rises, it can go up to higher levels now and create more anomalies into your body frame positions. So you're creating a whole particle system of a dark force energy system to your thought recognition systems. Okay, so if it comes back to position, you're in a big trouble now. Okay, because it goes into its center position like this, and it creates its own spacecraft positions. So now you just created a spacecraft division, a dark center connection system to its elements, to its proactive system, to its planet position. Okay. So you definitely don't want to do this, because if you do that, this is what happens. Everything calculation goes into this calculation modification system like this. It covers the whole screen, 2 positions. And now you're creating a whole galaxy location position and nothing but dark. And that's what happens when your lights go out. Okay, your light disappears. So it's kind of like shadow shifting your light into the dark round position through your thought. Okay, so if you take a line, let's say it's red, like this over black, start off like that, right? So if you don't understand the line communication, what happens? It covers over its rotation and it disappears. It's not in the simulation. You're creating an anomaly, okay? You're creating a cyst. You're creating cancer. Okay, you're creating cancer. So it's position here, locations. Okay, you're creating planets. This is what happens to your body. Okay, red cells come in. Now, when the red cells come in, okay, it's really fascinating. They line signal channel to information system. This is really interesting. They have their own spider ops that come through divisions of dimensions, right? Allocated positions goes into light frequency level systems, like this through calculation. See, so it's totally taken over the white cells, guys. And this is how it becomes cancer. Okay. Okay, so it's forming its local connection system to allocated positions. And then line signals its channel to its location and creates its own anomaly into direction. Okay, creates its own planet position of a new atom system to its positions of allocated new line communication cycles. So this is what happens when you go from one element to a particle system to an atom to a division of a location position. Every particle system, the billions and billions of everything through epigenetic centers, through its connection, formulates into their own realm location positions. This is what causes cancer. This is what causes diseases. This is what causes friction. This is what causes higher vibration of dark rotations to its connection. I'm just showing through particle system. This is how everything's created, right? This is what I see when I heal people. Okay, it's extremely dark. Now it's creating its own alignment. It's creating its own weather. It's creating its own patterns. It's creating its own galaxy. It's creating its own atom into different positions around locations. So it all does is just keeps forming and forming. It takes over your body system, takes over your health, takes over your thoughts. It's creating its own anomaly, right? It's creating its own structure location, okay? So you don't want to get into those positions, guys. You don't want to get in those positions because diseases are caused through your thoughts. But once you take over the white cells and it comes into the red cells, this is what's created in your body system through calculation. So it just keeps forming, forming, and forming. So now you created a dark realm, civilization. Scary. So understanding that through position. If you get out of hesitation, if you get out of the connections of your anticipation, okay, you can get out of the waving cycles, but you have to understand the communications of yourself through your thought recognition lights. So what I do with my plasma energy system, okay, I communicate through the center position like this through calculation. This is what I'll show you what happens with the body framing system. I start with this through the realm location like this. It comes into position, okay, and then I change it through its position, change it through its position, 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 position. Okay, so I have to take all this out of its equation, right? So basically it goes into this position, goes into this position, goes into this position, goes into this position, goes into this position. Okay, so when that happens, okay, it starts disappearing and coming back into the light. So this is what I do when I go through healing. I go through particles. So I go right back, I go right into your scanning positions of your body system where it's connected. So you have, how many red cells do you have? How many white cells you have? If the red cells take over the white cells, it's going to take over your light. So in position, this is me through plasma. So it's me going inside you and scanning. This is what I see. This is all atoms that I see. So when I go into traction, I put you back into position. Okay, I come into the light signals. Okay, of modification, all right? So it changes its position. Okay, it takes it out of the cyst, but I have to go through the fractions because this is created. This is extremely dangerous. But see what's happening? I'm changing the coloration. So it's activating the particles. It's activating the atoms, okay? So the atoms basically disappear into calculation through modification of light, okay? You turn into light. Okay, that's what happens with the particle system. And then I go back into the white cell positions, but I have to do this. This is everything that I have to do to change the particle system, your body frame. So it's kind of like looking under a microscope and actually seeing the particles, how small they are, they're moving, right? But then you see them coming in together. Okay, you see them forming right inside, right? So when that comes into the green cycling light stars in that connection system, they open up the plasma force energy systems, okay? And it disappears into connections. So it's all putting a light screen. After I put the light screen, okay, it changes all positions to its green cycling positions. So I come into the osteologics, and the particle system of my body and its modification cycles changes the hydraulics of its position, like this. Okay, so my atom is activating everything with light signals, and it's going through all body systems, okay, from the head, from the heart, it's going around. Okay, these are spider ops. This is how you change everything through calculation. Okay, these are my particle systems that are going through the thought recognition systems of its atom. Okay, it's changing all the particle systems of the brain location positions or anything through its fracturing. Okay, so it goes like this. So once it covers the connection system, okay, so it's all about what's happening right now through calculation. Okay, so it's all about taking this out, changing the graphing locations of the body because it's all black, right? Okay, this is not space. This is dark anomaly. This is dark matter. So this is what your commander does when I heal Dina or anything through connections of Priscilla or anything through Tina. This is what I go through. I go through your atoms. I go through your connections. I go through all molecular structures, but that's what it looks like up close in your body, right? So anything that is connected, I can change anything through form, but you understand the information panels. Now it's getting complicated now, isn't it? But it's powerful stuff, right? I just want to show you what your commander goes through. So when you understand the line signals and its line channels through its location, you change it back into the white cell through positions. So it goes into white. So that's the whole application, right? It's taking the red cells and back into the white cells. So you understand that, right? It has to go back into white because put in the light, then you go into the energetic patterns of a new body system through calculation because it modifies and integrates everything in position. So you go back into white. Right, so you start off this position, you start off with this position, you go into this position, you go into this position. So it's all about my particle system, my atom, of its thought recognition system, changing everything through its position. Okay, so now it's increasing levels. It's going through anything through connection of bone, anything through intern, and it's changing its coloration through its particle system of my thought recognition system. So my little atom systems are going all over connections and changing the graphing positions of your body frames. Okay, so when it goes into that position, it modifies the light sky positions of planet positions. All right, so it sets off signals like this through calculation. Okay, so it illuminates everything through the atom system and electrodes everything through location. So I think it's fascinating. You guys have to know how things are connected through healing. Healing is not healing. You have to know everything through the atom. Okay, so these are the spider ops, right? So the spider ops are coming in. They're changing the particle system. They're changing the body frame back in its position to its white cell connections, right? So it's reforming. It's readjusting, realigning everything through your particle system, guys. Okay, so when that happens, everything comes into formation through calculation. So when that is in position, the sun comes in position. It changes the coloration of the atom. Okay, so I'm communicating with the sun now through calculation. So it goes into its round location positions. I have to show you what happens with the correlation system through calculation. It changes the colorations, okay, the atoms, the position. So when it does that, then you get confirmation signals into the map location of the center, right? That's what it looks like through positions, right? So when you get into that, then you get into modifications of my blue circling rotation center. Okay, so when that happens, I have to line communicate everything. See the blue cycling? That's me. That's me traveling through plasma, right? Now I was telling you about the watch. It comes in and splits. One is in position, one is in location, one is in space, one is in division, right? So one is the one is in space of you, and the one is traveling of time. And then you understand space and time and its location. So that's what you do through the atom system. So they all line communicate like that through position, right? So now I put everything in the particle system into a round location. So it basically disintegrates, okay, through the realm. Okay, so I connect through the realm, through the circle, like that. So all the particle system of the atoms disappear into the positions of the body framing of its center position of the heart. The heart is this portal, this connection. So there's one door that goes in, and there's one door that goes out. Okay. So when that happens, everything disappears into the realm location positions, like this. Okay. This is what happens to your body. It changes. Okay. Now, when that happens, you come into the light screens. Okay. Modification system. Everything goes white through position. Right. So I got to set up your new body activation system, right? Through calculation. So I got to reframe, readjust, refocus, change all your atoms in your particle system. I want you guys to understand what your commander does and what healing is. I think it's important you guys understand this. Healing is not just healing. Healing is going into the atom and changing everything through dimensional portal, changing everything through cancer. How I heal, or anything through Parkinson's, or anything through diabetes, or anything through that, right? Even a headache, the stem location of the brain system, right? Its position, right? So it's truly understand through that through calculation. So it goes into a white circle rotation center, like this, through modifications. It's integrating everything through position, guys. All right. So it laces lines as location lines, opens up its traction positions. Okay, it opens up its realm location like this. Okay, so my particle system, my energy system, my light system is traveling. All right, it's going all around the realm. Okay, that's what it's doing to the body. It's putting everybody back into the light. This is what it is. That's the activation, right? It's traveling extremely fast. So when it's in that position, okay, you come into the line communications. Okay, we'll go into the black circle so you can actually see it. We go into the line communication, all right, of your chakra system. Okay, so we open up your chakra system of the grounds. Then you open up your powers. Then open up your atmospheres. Okay, so we're in that position. Okay, the grounds are opening through allocated positions. It activates everything through the light sky position like this. So it's coming into a new body system, guys. All right. So when it's in that position, it activates everything through the center position of the center. Okay, so it's white. You see that? So it activates everything through the center position, communicates through the crown chakra position. Okay. Okay. Now when it communicates with that, it sets its signals back into the center position of the heart. But it's white. You see what's happening? So all that connection comes into formation. Okay, and it light skies everything through direction. Okay, so when that happens, I know it's extremely complicated, but I got to show you what happens through chronological order and everything through sequence and levels through its wire level connection system. So the allocated position comes into the framing connection system of the chakra line communications. Right, so you got one here. Let's change it up a little bit here. 2 here. So this is how you change your chakra locations. 3. Okay, 4. 5. 6. Let's just start with 7, but usually go up to 12, right? Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's 7 chakras. Okay, so you got the light in the sky, illuminations, everything. See the angel location position. Angel comes in. That direction location of your transformation light opens up the light. This is what you see. So the chakra system comes into blind communication. So it activates everything through the ground locations. Okay, goes in the center position. Like that, through modification, right? So it opens up everything through the connections of the power connections. Okay, and then it opens up everything through the atmospheric connection system. Okay, and align signals channels into your location of your pyramid system. And there you go. There's your spacecraft position and ready to go. Okay, so this is all done through healing, how you change everything through formation of an atom, through anything through particle of your bifurcations, bistructure locations, by manufacturing division to its biochemical system, to your structural levels of your atom systems, to coming out of the red cells to the white cells, to a new chakra, to a new body activation of the grounds, power, and atmosphere systems. Okay, integration cycles to positions, take it out of this equation. But that's what happens when you go through healing through me. All right, so it's fun, isn't it? It's a lot of fun. I wanted to show you what you can do when I see all these things. Right, I go right into your body. I scan it. Anything blinking off, anything through off cycle, it's red, or anything through coloration. So if it's a different coloration, your thought recognition system has created its own anomaly of dark. So either it's red, okay, or it's dark red, okay, or it's black, or it's really black. So I have to change that. I show you how you change that through my particle when you come into the spider ops. Spider ops are vision line communications. They C-scan everything in the particle system. Okay, so they're going. So they come up like this. They fix it, right? And they go to the next one. They go to the next one. And they go this one. And then you come into the light sky. So it's changing the whole body. Okay, changing your water containments, coming into the electrolytes. Okay, it's sparkling everything back into formation, and then it goes up to the chakra system. Light comes out, right? And then the clarity vision opens up the veil, right? And then you see, whoa, you're coming into space and time now. That's what happens through healing, through your commander. So I wanted to show you how powerful it is to heal. Heal is not just heal. It's everything through its connection, through its atom. You have to understand everything through your particle system. You have to understand everything through the chakra system. You have to understand everything through it's by trifactors. No, trifactor is to understand your triangle location positions of your matrix positions, malign communication, your point centers. Okay, you understand everything that you go through your dreams and its positions is understanding more of your trifactors. Here we go, the prothesis, gamma thesis. So you can have so many tesseracts in your body. You can have so many shapes and anomalies in dark. You can have so many atom locations in wrong position of planet positions. So you can have an atom of a dark center position into your planet. That's a virus. That's a Trojan. So I have to take it out. Okay. So there's a lot of things that are modified in space when you come into the spiritual system. Okay. So I hope you guys understand that this is what I do every day. I mean, that's what it is. It's the brain and the mind and how it calculates and modifies and how you heal everything through the body. The scanning positions of everything. The particle systems, billions and billions and billions are activations of intelligence through bio-tractive locations, everything through bioscanning, anything through geotheriums. Okay, everything through that connection to your patterns, your coloration, your light, your activation system. But it's fascinating when you heal somebody's body, bringing them back into the light, guys. It's amazing when you come into those levels, right? So I just wanted to show you what happens when you're healed. Okay, so you're saying, whoa, okay, I got a lot of work. But that's exactly what happens in that position. Everything comes to the light. Okay, so that gives you a better understanding of the dynamics and what has to be done through calculation, modification, integration to get out as equation, right? So it's all about taking the equations out of cancer, or anything through that connection. You know, anything through twitching motions, anything through headaches, or anything through information of a sore back. You have a sore back, why? Because you created through your thoughts. Now you guys have to understand that you're nothing but a vibrational body. Understand your vibrational body. It's always, always, always never separated until you separate it through your mind. You are the only ones that can separate. You're the only one that can change. You're the only one that can snap the wire. Nobody else. So this is a wire, okay? Through connection. This is a wire, like that. There's a wire. Now, if you snap the wire like this, okay, what happens? It's separated, right? So it creates its own realm, creates its own atom. Okay. So if you understand it through a thought, fine. If you don't, what happens is it creates it more and more. So when that happens, everything is calculated and modified, and it comes into another atom, and it comes into another atom. So it's creating its own pattern. It's creating its own dark anomaly. That's what happens to the body, guys. Every time you travel through your thoughts, every time you create through your negative system, you're creating your own diseases through its lights and everything, through the activation of vibrational system, through your body framing systems. Okay, so just wanted to show you, man, it's not just what you think it is. So I think that's good, you know. I think we learned a lot today. Anything you want to know, you can go through my healing, you can go through my application levels, you can go through my constellation path, you can go through transmissions, you can go through communications. I wanted to show you what happens when you go through healing, okay? Because my team, I know they're going, whoa, this is way too much. But it's not way too much. It's just truly understanding what's inside your body. It's all about protecting your body. It's all about the dietary of your body. It's all about the bioscan, the bioatmosphere of your body. It's all about everything through your line signals of your body, your transformations, your teleportation, your energy, your transference. Everything through your particle system is so important to you because you're connected to its line communication. So when you travel through positions of your thoughts, okay, you're never separated until you separate your mind through your body, through your brain, through your heart, and through your soul. So your soul is not identifying the heart's not identifying the mind of the pattern, and everything the brain location is separating everything through its decoding system. Okay, and that's where it comes into dark, okay, and out of light. So you got to understand how to get back in position through your thought recognitions of travel, through vibration. Okay, because it puts you in a better positions. It really does. Okay. So, and it affects everything through your dreams. It affects everything through your programs, and it affects everything through your quantum fields of vibration, through your computer systems. So, and when everybody have a tremendous day. Any questions or comments, please feel free. If you want to go in your traction positions. And team, if you want to go into your retrogrades, okay, let me know. Okay. All right. So you guys have a wonderful day. This is your area commander from communications of all God level connection systems, the healing connections through the atom rotation centers of all computers and everything through the quantum fields of atmospheres, connecting to the earth of the fifth dimensional system, the allocated positions of the galaxy locations and everything light frequency level of its formation, of its grid formation systems. Adios, everybody.